again. It's been a while since I made any videos about the Raspberry Pi, but now I think is the time to do so again with the release of the Raspberry Pi 2, which is an exciting enhancement of the original Raspberry Pi. It's got lots of extra features on it, and lots more memory and a quad-core processor, which makes it really interesting and exciting to work with. When they first announced the Raspberry Pi 2, of course I ordered one, and was a bit disappointed to have to wait 3 weeks for it to arrive, but here it is. So this video is going to be about unpacking the Raspberry Pi 2, and this is the Model B, and setting it up, downloading the Noobs new out-of-the-box software from the internet, installing it on a micro SD card, setting it up, and in getting the Raspberry Pi fired up and configured. So that's what this video is going to be about. Apologies for those of you who may have already done this and have gone way beyond this stage, but this video is really meant for those of you who may have just got a Raspberry Pi and are just starting out on the trail. So without any more ado, I'm going to open the container. I actually already slit it because I know how difficult these things can be to open. Take out the package which is inside, and RS Components I got mine for, and it says this package contains the components you have ordered. That's always reassuring, isn't it? In there I find a little box which is the packaging of the Raspberry Pi 2 Model B, and on the front there's the RS Components part number. So I'm going to open that. And as you would expect, inside the component is contained in an anti-static case, and it's always advisable to earth yourself. So I've already done it today, but I'll do it one more time on a metal desk just to make sure I'm okay. And I'm still going to handle it with care. So this is the Raspberry Pi 2, same size as the original Raspberry Pi. It has the 4 USB sockets, which its predecessor had, but not the first Raspberry Pi. It has the internet connection here, and on the side it now has a composite video out connection for a television, USB port here, and a micro power socket there for your power supply. Now there's been some debate over the power needed for that. I'm using a 750 milliamp battery charger type power supply, and it seems to work absolutely fine. There's some different numbering on the processor, and some of the connectors have got white tops on. So that's a Raspberry Pi, and of course it's got the extra I/O pins. So that's a Raspberry Pi. We're now going to get onto the internet and download the Noob software, and then configure the card. So until a little bit later, when we've done all that, I'm going to start work on that bit of the video. So I'll see you in a short while. Now comes the task of downloading the software. Go onto Google, search for Raspberry Pi downloads. When you're in the download page, you'll be presented with this screen. What you have to do then is go to Downloads, and then go down to Noobs and the zip file. Select the zip file and click it. What will happen then is it will ask you what you want to do with it. You want to save it, so go on to Save, and then it will start to save that as a zip file in your Downloads folder. You see now I've got 2 minutes odd remaining, so I'm going to speed up the recording a little bit here just to make sure that we don't waste too much time on this video. 2 minutes 8 seconds, and now we're going down to the last little bit where we got 7 seconds remaining, and once that's finished you will see that the software will be downloaded as a zip file into your download folder. So whenever we open the folder, and when we open the folder you will see there the Noobs zip file downloaded. What we have to do now is double click on that, and once we've double clicked on that it will open it. Now we have to select all those files in that download file, and then drag them across to the micro SD card which you have inserted in your reader. It's going to start to transfer those files now. Now this takes a little while to do, and you see now that it is taking a while to do that. So once again we're going to speed things up a little bit, but we are looking at about 2 minutes here for this to happen, for it to transfer all those files across to the micro SD card from your download folder or wherever you've saved it on your PC. Once that's done, and you see we're nearly there now, you will see those files appear on your drive in the SD card folder. And that's it really. They're all there and ready to go. If we now look at our drives, we'll see that in the H drive, the micro SD card has got all the software installed on it, ready to put into the Raspberry Pi. Now we come to actually installing the micro SD card, which is being configured. So the card's very tiny, as you can see. We pick up the Raspberry Pi, turn it over, and slot it in so that the connections are on the facing upwards, if you like, there. So that pushes down until it slots. If you push it in again, it will unslot, push it in, and it clips into place. Now we have to connect the various connectors to it. First of all, I'm going to put in the 2 USB sockets, one for my keyboard, one for the mouse. I'm now going to connect the Ethernet cable in here. I've got a direct connection. You can use Wi-Fi. This video doesn't show you how to set that up. Then I'm going to put in my HDMI connector, which goes into there, and now I'm going to put in my power supply connector, which goes in. And I'm now going to power up the Raspberry Pi and see just what happens. Okay, the Raspberry Pi is powering up. We get our rainbow screen. You can see the lights flashing away there, and now we're coming in to the setup procedure that the Raspberry Pi is going to go through, and it's asking us which operating system we would like to use. I'm going to go for the Raspbian, which is the recommended system. So I'm going to just mouse click on Raspbian, so that one's done, and now I'm going to go install, and it gives you a warning there, but I'm going to accept that. And now it's going to install. Now this is going to take rather a long time to do. As you can see, it's given us lots of notice. There's a lot of data to be unzipped now as this is going ahead. So I'll just zoom in a little bit more on that for you. And it's given you lots of information as it's doing that. But it's only 21 megs now of 2,349 megabytes, so and we're only up to 2%. So what I'm going to do is pause the recording now and come back a little bit closer to the end of it to show you the configuration stage of the Raspberry Pi, but at least the thing seems to be working. Okay, we're now up to 96%, and if I move in a little bit you'll see what's actually happened. The file system is being extracted, and once it's fully extracted and installed on the micro SD card, then there's a slight pause and we'll go into the setup system. The system we're using is Raspbian, which is based on a Linux system and specifically designed for the Raspberry Pi. So we're now at 100%. I have to wait just a few seconds for the setup screen to appear. Once we go in there, I'll just take you through that. So its operating system is installed successfully. It's always good to know that, so I'm going to OK that. Now we have a blank screen, and then the boot starts, and that just takes a few moments to go through. Once that's finished going through, then we should be presented with the setup screen for the Raspberry Pi, and here we are. So what I'm going to do now is use the arrow keys, first of all to move down and to change, and I want to boot from desktop. So when the machine turns on, I want to actually boot into the desktop. So I'm going to go boot from desktop, and then I'm going to go down to there, desktop login as user Pi, and I'm going to do that one, and then I'm going to go down to international options, and on there we want to set our time zone, so we set up language there, and I'm going to go down now to change time zone. So we do the change time zone. I have to wait for a few moments here while it does that, and then I'm going up to Europe and hit return, and then we're coming down to London, and I'm going to hit return, and now I've finished with that, so I'm going to go to finish and exit the setup program. You can always return to this and set up other options such as overclocking if you want to, but I'm going to finish that. And would I like to reboot now? And the answer to that is yes. And we go into the reboot menu again, and while that happens, and once this happens, we should now be presented with the rainbow screen for a few moments, and then go into the opening screen. So here we are with our opening screen, and as you can see, I have a menu here which gives me programming, various programs I can use, the internet, Pi Store, web browser, games, Minecraft if you want it, and you can even program in Minecraft, and games here which are quite extensive. Also very good for learning how to program your own games, and various other things here. It's important when you shut down that you go down to shut down before you close the computer, rather than just unplugging the power supply. There's always pretty good help there as well. So that's it. We have our Raspberry Pi up and running. So there we have the Raspberry Pi up and running. Thank you for watching. That's it for this video. The rest is really down to you to go onto the LX terminal in the Raspberry Pi and do some programming there, or download an editor such as Genie, or and do some programming in that. Learn how to use Scratch, open Minecraft and learn how to use that. The sky is the limit really for the Raspberry Pi. Thank you once again to the Raspberry Pi Foundation for producing such a wonderful piece of kit, and for updating it into the Raspberry Pi 2. I'm sure you'll enjoy. I've got a lot to learn, and maybe I'll make another video a little bit later on some of the other aspects of the Raspberry Pi 2. In the meantime, thank you for watching and enjoy your Raspberry Pi. Goodbye.